Okay, what's going on, guys? I'm going to show you how to use my 3-2-2-3 is what I like to call this. Um, the reason why I like the system a lot is because you have those two CDMs. Unlike many other formations, you don't have that stability, and I'm trying to replicate that three players up front like you would in a 4-3-2-1. This actually might be a good game to show you because up against a player that's probably playing a nice attacking system and has a good team. Now, I've changed to the formation immediately. Now, the first thing you're going to notice with this formation is the wing play. Now, the fullbacks overlapping are one of the most important things because that's what's going to give you the ability to maneuver. And you can see the controller on the screen as well. You do have that one striker. This is the only, I would say, the only weakness with this formation is you can't be as quick as you want to down the middle, but you can do down the wing. So I'll explain to you. So when you're defending, when you win the ball back like so, as soon as you win the ball back, and don't forget the tactics for this tactic is actually released yesterday in my weekly tactics update. I don't know what that was in the end by Dunk, but you're gonna have to. We got fast put up play so players move quickly. So when I get the ball forward here, you can see that the team, even though our fast put up play, still takes some time, and that is why I put fast put up play on. But you see when I win the ball. So the best thing you could do is supplement that just a simple 1-2. Then you can see here, we've got the winger, that's free. Now that gives us space in the middle. We've got the two CDMs and we've got the centre mids. And then we've got the three strikers up front, as you can see. So if you need help, you still have those two centre mids. These two centre mids are going to be the most important thing in the 3-2 setup at the beginning. Then you can see we almost got like a front five in place. When we go into a full phase where we have the possession of the ball and we take our time, then you can find these nitty gritty small areas that allow you to build up. And then you set those two players back for stability. Yeah, I'm just going to go with a nice through ball if I get the ball going through, but unlucky I didn't. And then the good thing with this defensively is because you have those two centre mids in the middle, you can kind of be as aggressive as you want with the left wing and right wing and even the striker. Because even with the back five, because you got a back five, we got the Eusebio card there. One of the best cards, not moments from last year, but you do have time on the ball as well. You can see, look here, that's the three. And then we're going to pass to the left mids now. We're going to introduce it into play. We've got a 3 versus 3 here or 3 versus 2. You can always use a player lock or something like that to give yourself that extra edge if you want to. My second suggestion I would say as well, especially with wide formations, is to make use of the swerve passes, in particular the precision passes. That's a nice play from Eusebio there, just a bit unlucky. So like what I'll do, like I'll trigger a player, for example, like here. Now I can see on the opposite side that player is free, so I can just make that lob pass like that. And if that player was just a bit quicker in the going forward, I would have been in a better position. What you could do as well is what I like to do is activate hug the sidelines and attack in fullback. So this will make the play wider, but I really like it because if I want to do that pass again, it's much better because I can get the ball into those wide areas. So I'll give you an example. If I got the ball here, Dunk, not the best of passes, neither is Olga. But you can see I can just lob the ball from one side. If I have a better passer, I can lob the ball on the counter. So if I'm ever feeling, oh, I can't go, let's say I'm stuck here and I really can't go through. Let's say Athena, I can't really go through. I can always pass the ball like so. And if I had a bit better passers, kind of got away with it there now with that pass with Cecilia. But if you had someone like a better passer, not someone like the 60k Zambrotta, which I'm purely using for chemistry purposes, then you'll have a better chance of making that pass. Even better if you've got someone good long passing is very, very important. So from the defensive phase, you kind of have like a 5 back. That's the main benefit. You do have a 2 centre mids. And that kind of allows you, it kind of somewhat goes into a 5-4-1 system, but not really. It's kind of like it's like a 5-2. And it's a 5-2-3-1, I would say. So you can see that's a setup. You can see that's the fullback that then overlaps. Then you can have that player running into the middle. Create that little bit of a mismatch. Then if you want, you can do whatever you want. If you want to cross the ball here. But if you should know, typical nil guides, I do not cross the ball. Now, one thing I would say, as I said, the one striker can feel a bit isolated. We have both of the centre mids on stay back while attacking. Now, what you can do is you can trigger them to make a run going forward. So I'll show you when I get the ball back in my possession. You can trigger them, especially if you have like one defensive, one attacking centre mid. It works very well. Pressing also works well as well because you have players all around the pitch. And again, you could be a bit aggressive with your defenders and kind of get away with it because you have still that temporary back four. Good goal from my opponent there. That Neymar card, absolute. That Thunderstruck card is amazing. But you, as I said, you can get away with it. It's really good for build-up play because the way the team is set out, you have those passes in between the lines as well. And then you have the really wide players, like those really wide players. So you always have that numerical advantage no matter where you go. And unfortunately there, I don't know what happened there, but my player decided to just run away from the ball there. So that is the main benefit there, is that you have that ability. What my favorite thing to do, as I said, with this formation is, I'm just going to show you as well. We've got attacking fullbacks as well. I'm going to pause the game at halftime. I'm going to show you one change that I like to make as well. Good play from the opponent. You can see the Kira in a defensive shape, very stable. You've got the two CDMs, which makes a big difference because they sit lower back. So if you compare that to like a 5-4-1 or some other formation, good goalkeeper movement there. Bit unlucky. Get the ball back here. Nice. And you select here, just waiting. Got the two centre mids. Get the ball back. Got Kirill. The centre back is very important, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. You can see here we get the overlap. And then if you want to make Olga going through. So to build up, it's a very good formation. You just got to be a bit patient. Kind of think of it like, I was kind of watching an Arsenal match with the front. You know, you have like the back three, then you have the front five, and then the two centre mids. And then sometimes you see, for example, like Benoit overlapping. Kind of took inspiration from that because I was really trying to play the Arsenal way and trying to replicate those tactics inside the game. But I said, look, you got those two CDMs. So the cut passing lanes is really good. So you have the three. You have the two, and then you have the two that also join for the left back and the right back. So ideally, you want quick players here. What you can do is that someone like high-low is good here. Someone high, you want someone high on both ends. As I said, I've got fast builder playing forward runs. The idea is as soon as I get the ball, they're meant to pierce and run through. But for some reason, this formation, they just don't do it. I don't know why. They just feel like they just feel a bit more defensive as opposed to running forward really quick. Sometimes you can find yourself just being a bit more ocular. Like, so I'm waiting for Olga to make that run. And you can see that's what I mean by the player opposite side is completely free. You can see he caught that opponent off guard. Just wait for the pass. And you can see even with some of the best players inside the game, you can see it just splits the defensive AI apart. It's just because the way that the formation is built and the way the players are positioned, it makes it very hard then to go up against it, because you can find those spaces. Of course, it will depend on what player. If you play like a very high level player, you're always going to feel choked no matter what formation you play. Nice play from Neymar there. That's a mistake I made. Don't forget my controls are classic as normal. The only difference is my tackle button is X. So what I said to you, I have Kirill in centre back. So the reason why this is important is, let's say for example I'm building up from the goalkeeper. You got that three back, so what I can do is I can drop the ball, and I can introduce immediately and outnumber my opponent. So I can go wide if I want to. And with Kirill, well, that was not the pass that I wanted. Right idea, but wrong execution. But what I was trying to show you, but unlucky there. I'm just going to get the ball back to my goalkeeper again. I'm just going to show you something very quickly. Let's say, for example, like here, I'm trying to build up. So you got that three back. So you see Kirill is the center. It's the heart. So let's say, for example, here I just got to bait the first defender like so. Then I got the ball with Kirill. Now the distribution here is very important. If someone's got the pinged pass would be even better, you see, because then I can get the ball into those areas. So that is why I would say that centre back, you don't have to have the pinged pass play style, but if you do, it just helps, because then if I've got the ball here, I could just distribute the ball quickly, get the attack going, 1-2. I can just trigger that play to make a run. And again, I can have the opposite side. You don't have to do, again, pressing the L1 button, letting that player make that run. Bit of a 1-2, going to create that overlap, like so. Of course, you don't have to play this way, but or use precision passes, but I find this works very effective. Then you have that front five, you see? So you're always going to have a person free, so whether you like to cross the ball or pass the ball. And you can see how Rapinoe goes from like the wide position, then comes a bit internally when the right back overlaps. So it kind of pushes that player into those spaces. So that's what I like. I like those pocket play spaces. So if you're struggling to get the ball going forward, it can be very effective in those stances. Of course, when you lose the ball, you have like a temporary back three, but you have two CDMs. That's the key. I don't put cover wing, I always put cover center. So you can argue the left centre back and the right centre back are also important because they need to have pace. But I mean, for example, something like this. So let's say we add the ball with Kirill. If I've got a good pass, then I can just distribute the ball around and get the ball with Kirill, for example, like so. And let's say, I don't know, I need to make a more of a difficult pass, let's say, to one of the wingers. I can run there, do the pinged pass and not worry too much about that player in trouble. You go for the overlap here. You could always go backwards as well. You don't have to go forward. My opponent's getting a bit frustrated at the moment. And you can see like here, you get that player that goes on the inside. So let's say you go to a recycling state. So this is why I kind of like the formation. So when you go to that recycling state, so I'm just going to get the ball back here again. I'm going to try to slow this down for you so I can show you. So let's say a typical example, people struggles when you can't go through. So let's say, for example, you're like here. Rapinoe and she's back in position. So you got that kind of that front five. You see that? So you see Rapinoe, just the position. So the left back and right back, they're very, very, very wide. So you're always going to have that. Think of it like the kind of like the Barcelona 2011. You got the Villa and you got the Pedro, wide as possible, creating a lot of space. And then you have the players or the kind of, although they're wide cams, they play more like wingers, or that's why I use one width. I'm trying to make them play like right centre forwards and left centre forwards in a 4-3-2-1. Because you see the 3-4-2-1, you might be saying, no, why don't you just use the 3-4-2-1? But you see, you haven't got left back and right backs, and left back and right backs are much more wider when they go forward. As you can see, they're completely unmarked. And then the second benefit is you do have CDM. So for defensive stability, you can be fine. So I can literally just ping the ball like this. And you can see, look, you see on the opposite side, do you see just how they position themselves? See where Rapinoe, look at Rapinoe's positioning. You might have to just go back a little bit, but you can see Rapinoe, she comes into the center. Then she kind of helps the wide areas. She kind of goes to that wide area. Then she goes on the inside. Then when she goes into this position here, the unmarked zone, that's where I like to occupy it. A bit unlucky there. And I said, you got those two CDMs, so you're not too worried about defensive positioning. Bit aggressive there. Go with a through ball, and my opponent is just more frustrated than anything. I'm just going to go for the typical Nilgard's goal. This is a big issue that I have, actually, in case anyone's wondering. As you guys know, I like to over dribble a lot, and I feel like sometimes in this game, because finishing is so bad, like in other games I could go 1-0 down and know I'm going to come back. I could say it with chest that I could probably come back and not have a fear, but this game you could have like 2-3 one-on-ones and you just don't know if you're going to come back or not. You see a pretty compact in the middle there. You can have one that cams, of course, come back in midfield if you really, really want to make that midfield three as well. But you can see how much space it gives you. So even though we've got one width, because the left back and right back are so wide, you have those players that are wide, but the rest of the team that's compact. So even if you want to make a pass to someone in the middle, because your team is so narrow, you're forcing your opponent's back four to be narrow. And then because your left back and right back are so wide, if the your opponent's left back and right back do mark your left wing and right wing, or your left back and right wing when they go forward, it creates space in the middle. So that is one of the key benefits of this formation. So it's like mainly when you're getting forward, you're always going to have that passing option going forward. And I feel like my opponent here has decided to give up. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you want to watch more videos like this, you come check out my Patreon. So it's patreon.com/Nilgard. Links down below in the description. It's basically a 5-4-1 when you're defending, a 3-2-2-3 when you're attacking. A very, very nice formation, and I like it a lot. And guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.